Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Monday live stream and the massive pullback that is going. And we'll talk about that today. And we'll talk about what's going on in the markets. Also, some good news, which I think things really aren't adding up. And we'll get to all that stuff. But before we get to that, let's talk about my blunder today, which is I essentially got scammed. So this is what happened. This is Gem Crypto. Real nice YouTuber. I think she's out of Hong Kong, and we've done a video before just about what's going on in the markets and just the basic stuff. I think it was on her channel, as a matter of fact. And I had no issues with her whatsoever. And this is our conversation last time this was in 22nd of October, not too long ago. And this is on X, and we had talked just fine. And I said, hey, this is the link. We can record it, but put it on both channels, and off we go. So I didn't really think too much of it when she came to me here and says, hey, let's do another collaboration. Let's do a quick video about whatever you want to talk about. I said, yeah, let's talk about scammers, because scammers are running wild and everybody's speculating on the market themselves. And she said, sure. And I looked at her her X account. And just to make sure it was her, because, just a quick little check. And yeah, there it is. This is the exact same X account that I had talked to her previously before. Here's the old messages. Here's her posting, recently, November 9th, I guess not too long ago. I thought nothing of it, like no big deal. So when she said, came to me and said, hey, there's something wrong with X, the X account, and getting messages back and forth. Can we just take this over to Telegram? And I said, yeah, I'm having the exact same problems with X. I can't get messages. This was a reciprocal thing. So she gave me her Telegram account. And we talked over there, and we went back and forth, talked about what we're going to do. And now you can see here, everything's wiped away because, they already scammed me. And I said, hey, nice trying the scamming, as I put it in. And I got to tell you, I have to tell you, the topic that we were going to go over was scams. I mean, the irony of this is classic. They reached out to me, the scammers, and I said, let's do a show about scamming. They're like, sure. As we're trying to scam you in the background. And there's just all the different things that I had compiled. There's a lot of them. There's good stuff. Will be a great video when I do it. So this morning, woke up, and they said, hey, here's the link. And the link went to, first it went to a Google Meet, and it wasn't Gem. She said, she sent me a message in Telegram and said, hey, my manager's going to talk to you just to set some things up. I'll be there in a second. I'm finishing up a live stream. So, okay, and I see that she's doing a live stream at the same time. Okay. So I talked to this guy, I don't know, some dork, and just poofy hair, nerdy glasses, just goofy. And he's like, yeah, I'm Gem's manager, and just want to go over some things. And we saw your information looks great. Anything you want to add in there? I'm like, no. He goes, okay, here's a link to StreamYard. I'm like, oh, I use StreamYard. This is very easy, right? He goes, yeah, just go there and then get in and, share your screen, and I'll have Gem, there real quick. When I clicked on it, I know first of all, I'm like, oh, that's an odd StreamYard.tv. That's kind of weird. But StreamYard's always rolling out new things. Maybe this is their podcast version. I don't know. And then it asked me for access to mute and camera. Okay. So I give them the mute and the camera. And then I go in there, and there's nobody there, just me. And it says, oh, there's an error. And all you got to do is just download this desktop app and, just do that. And I was like, okay, this is weird. I'm not downloading squat. Because I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your own mother. You don't download anything. You can follow some links and be all right, I mean, because I was taking a look over here, and I was like, okay, well, StreamYard, that's what I'm using right now, StreamYard. And because I did not download that app, that's what saved me. So I had to figure this out. So I said, okay, this is very weird. I was talking to Gem on her account that I've talked to her before. I put out a piece on X. I said, I believe, and this is what's funny, this is what came out first, Crypto_IO. When I clicked on the @Gem, this account came out. But I wasn't even following this account. I was following the Crypto, that was it, account. And Jemmy says, yes, Rob, it was. The hacker has been posting pictures to pretend to be me since August. I post the whole incident on my current X account. And I'm like, well, how the hell am I going to know that? I can't keep it, up with everybody. And, I get requests like constantly, and I turn everybody down. The only people that I say yes to are like people I know, like Ben and Guy from Coin Bureau. Do a weekly show with them, so it makes sense. And Jim, I've seen, we've done a couple things together. So yeah, sure. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I took a look at it, at her X account, and sure enough, so she actually got hacked, and she got her entire her entire wallet drained. So, wallet draining is serious business, and she lost a good amount of money. So this is what she says on August 30th, not too long ago. I lost 15K worth of crypto on MetaMask, and worse, my original X account at Gem Crypto was stolen. That's the one right there. I want to share the full story, both as a warning. And this is a warning for everybody, because this can happen to any of your people in X, on Instagram, even people their phone can get SIM swapped. You can go to Facebook and they can get everything. Don't trust anybody these days. And from now on, I'm not doing any collaborations whatsoever. Number one, it started when a project called Bonus Block reached out to me directly to my original account. They have 300,000 followers, already launched a token, blah, blah, blah. Their team DM'd me. We did a Google Meet call. On the call, I spoke with this dork named Marcus, who was a white guy wearing glasses, probably the same nerd I talked to. He gave some background about the project and his colleague Joseph. Joseph was in China. And he said he couldn't join Google Meet and asked me to use a platform called Lumina app. That's trash. I clipped Marcus's Lumina meeting link. The site looked like a normal meeting, except there was no audio. He said the audio issue was on my side and suggested I download Lumina directly from the site, which is, where'd it go? This right here. Download the desktop app, which is what they wanted me to do. Anyhow, she downloaded it at 9 p.m. Hong Kong time, downloaded the software by 9:30, an hour and a half. My MetaMask wallet was drained, 15,000, not too bad. And my X account, her X account, Gem Crypto, was gone. Hacker changed my password and recovery email and blocked me on Telegram. I admit I made mistakes, didn't have a ledger connect to MetaMask. 15,000, it's not, for some that's crushing. For other people, it's not like their life savings. I only had text messaging two-factor authenticator on X instead of Google Authenticator. No, that's a problem. You got to put that in. Worst of all, I shouldn't have downloaded some software from an unknown party. Okay. But here's what frustrates me the most. X won't give me back my account. I've reported multiple times. Every reply from Savvy says I can't prove I'm the original owner. So here's the thing. Like when I went through this, I trusted it because I had seen this from Gem before. So when it came to me, I'm like, oh, this is the same account that I've interacted with, no big deal. So who failed me here? First of all, I failed myself. I take all responsibility for any links that I click on. I can't say it's not. Thankfully, I've heard enough stories where people say, don't download squat, because if you do, you get screwed over. Save me. But people are getting screwed over by these social media platforms that don't listen to their customers when they say, look, Jack, they just screwed me over and they have my account. I need you to put that account away, because what they'll do? They take a person like Gem, they weave themselves into accounts like mine, and then they steal my accounts and they screw you guys over because people are unsuspecting and they're like, maybe it's early in the day. Maybe they had a rough night. Maybe they have stress going on. They don't understand things that are coming at them. And all of a sudden there's someone from Rob from Digital Asset News going, hey, you know what? I got this new app. If you could download it, tell me what you think. People will do it. You don't have to have 1,000 people do it. You just need like 10 people to do it, and you screw them out over all their money. So the people that are messing up right now are the social media platforms that aren't listening to their customers going, they stole my account, do something, stop stealing all our data and all our money, and then having everybody else get effed over. God damn, I hate people. And I really hate people that are trying to scam. This is the one thing that pisses me off more than anything else. But it is what it is. So this happened, and then I thought to myself, okay. And before we go on, the reason why I despise scammers is because I used to work in the healthcare industry, used to go see elderly patients in their home. And multiple times in a quarter, we would go to somebody's house and they'd just be these devastated elderly people who are just trying to make ends meet. And they get some like Arabian prince saying, hey, I need to get to America or something stupid. And they fall for it and they lose their entire life savings. And this is why I hate them so much and why I lose my cool. I can lose millions because it's my money. But I cannot stand it when people get screwed over on the other side. I guess it kills me. So anyhow, so this is what you need to do. So when stuff like this happens, what I want you to do is, in anything that you're clicking on, anything that you're downloading, anything that you're listening to, whatever else, I want you to run it through an AI service. I don't care if it's ChatGPT or Grok or Perplexity, but this is what I did. I said, hey, I clicked on this link, StreamYard.tv, and this is what happened. How much trouble am I in? Like, well, because you didn't download anything, you're pretty good, but you did give them access to your webcam and to your microphone. So because of that, they can probably still see and hear you. I need you to do this, 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 and this so that they can't see and hear you, what you're doing. So I went to the steps and did that, and it was pretty good. But anything that you want to do, anything that you think is suspicious, you need to get a like, hey, there's, YouTube finally notified me that Rob went live on Digital Asset News. Is this a scam? You should put that through there because, first of all, YouTube does a poor job of that. Although I will say thank you, YouTube, for reversing taking down one of my videos a couple of days ago. But anything that you come across, just stick into ChatGPT. Make sure you're safe. I don't want you to get screwed over. I need you to be okay. And that's pretty much it. So anyhow, let me just think about what happened there in the comments section. And then, of course, I did all this stuff. I took away StreamYard.tv and revoked access and everything's good. But now what I want you to do me a favor. I linked this scam account in the description. And first thing I'm going to unfollow. Well, actually, I'll unfollow later. See these three dots here? I need you to click those three dots. I want you to report at GemGemCrypto. I don't want you to report. Where'd she go? Jemmy at GemGemCrypto_IO. I need you to report GemGemCrypto. And right here where it says report GemGemCrypto, I need you to click that. And if I want to be a jerk, I could say that it's hate speech, but it's not. But that's a real good way to get somebody kicked off, but that's a lie. So let's see. Impersonation, that's true. Pretend to be someone else, including non-compliant parody fan accounts, and she's not, or he's not, a dork. Let's see. Pretending to be me, someone else on X is being impersonated. The username, tell us more about who's being impersonated. No problem. It's this one. I guess they just want this. Yeah, there you go. Next. Your reporters in our queue. So Gem's already tried to do this. I need you guys to help me. I need this to get stopped today. So please do that. I would appreciate it very much. And that's it. Anyhow, let's go into some good news before I blow my head off, because I'm getting that to be that guy again. Let's talk about some good news. So first of all, this is the CEO of SoFi. And we had actually talked about this about a week ago or so, as SoFi is the first nationwide bank that's going to offer crypto services. I guess that just went live today. So I'm going to play this. First of all, I'm trying this. There's a new setting in StreamYard, which I'm not doing real good today with clicks. But this new setting apparently will allow you to hear this in a window setting. So I'm going to try this, and let me know if you can hear this for the first 5 seconds. Here we go.
See you, sir, in person.
Good to see you as well.
Okay, so what's going on here? This is a big deal.
Yeah, this morning,
a very big deal for you.
It is a very big deal. It's a big day and a big milestone. Reverses the course of time.
It does.
We've won.
Okay, please help me. Can you guys hear what Anthony Noto is saying for those first 10 seconds? Volume's low. Okay. Well, we're winning. Let's try this again.
Wanted to be a one-stop shop for all your financial services needs, and one of the holes we've had for the last 2 years was in cryptocurrency, the ability to buy, sell, and hold crypto. We were not allowed to do that as a bank. It was not permissible. But in March of this year, the OCC came out with an interpretive letter that it's now permissible for banks like SoFi to offer cryptocurrencies. So this morning we're launching as the only national bank, the first and only national bank, the opportunity to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana.
So I was going to ask, are we just talking about 3 for now?
We'll expand well beyond 3. It'll be a pretty broad assortment. We try to differentiate on being fast, having broad selection, great prices, ease of use. So we'll try to give members, SoFi members, as much selection as they would like.
And what's the difference between going through you and going through Coinbase, or going through Robinhood, or somebody else?
Yeah, there's a couple of really big differences.
Okay, well, let's listen to what Noto has to say on that. But before we do that, I'm going to try something different. Let me try this and see if we can hear it better. Okay, let me try this again with a better volume setting.
First, we're a nationally chartered bank, which means we have the infrastructure, the processes, the financial conditions that provides the safeguards that a consumer would expect from a bank, which is going to allow us to scale responsibly. The second thing is, because we are a one-stop shop, you can do all your banking, checking, and savings at SoFi, your borrowing, and your investing, and now crypto. And one of the unique things about that is when you come to SoFi and fund your crypto investments, you'll fund them in a SoFi checking and savings account. That checking and savings account's deposits earn interest.
Say that again. You're going to fund it with crypto?
You're going to fund
your checking account.
You're going to fund your checking account with cash.
Okay.
And then when you buy Bitcoin or Solana or Ethereum, the money will come straight out of your checking and savings account. So when you're not putting cash to work, it's not sitting in an account that earns no interest, and it's not sitting in an account that's not insured. So the money will sit in an FDIC insured account. Up to $2 million is what we offer. And when you buy, it will instantly withdraw from that account and send it to the marketplace.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, still low. I think that's probably just from the video. This is from Pete, the Bitcoin historian. I don't know if that was issue on that end or my end, but regardless, fantastic. So that's good news, but it leaves some questions to be answered. First of all, did you hear that there's 3 that they're offering in the very get-go, which is always interesting to see who's actually offering what different cryptos. Bitcoin, as always, right? Ethereum makes sense, number 2, and then Solana. And you have to ask yourself, I wonder why that is. And then also, we just talked about Cash App and Jack Dorsey, and they rolled out from Square, now it's called Block. For all the different merchants that are out there, they're able to accept Bitcoin payments. I just tried to do this last week. And also they're using stable coins with Solana as well. And I just thought to myself, like, it's interesting how like these big places are using Solana, and some other, not just Ethereum, but other layer 2s are not being used, except for Robinhood, which is using Arbitrum. So you can kind of see like the things like who are the winners, who are the losers, who are the altcoins that are going to make it, even though, you know, like right now everything's in the toilet. But you just kind of look at it and go, that is just a signal. I don't know if it's noise or signal, but it is what it is. And we'll see how it all plays out, but that is good news. And just so everybody knows, SoFi is not some small bank. I mean, they had around about 7 million customers in 2023. And in 2 years, they've gone from 6.9 to 12.6. They've doubled their amount of users. And right now, they're going full steam. This is right from their website. You can sign up right now. I guess they're rolling it out for crypto. It began on November 10th. So if you want to get into this, I'm guessing by December 1st, they'll roll it out that nationwide. But it is a step in the right directions. That's great. Also, speaking of Solana, good news, Bitwise just rolled out their Solana staking ETF. So not only do you have the upside for the appreciating value of Solana, if it ever does go up, just kidding. I'm sure it'll be fine. And then you also get different variations of the APY of the staking, which I think is pretty good. First US ETP to have 100% direct exposure to spot SOL, maximizing Solana's 7% average staking, targeting 100% of asset stake. So things are looking good for that. And I got to tell you, Solana, I mean, if we're taking a look at risk bands, right now it's in the 0.4 to 0.5, which is pretty low. I mean, because everything's going down the tubes. I don't know if Solana is going to keep going down or what it is, but this is where we're at today. I got to tell you, 0.4 is pretty low. Bitcoin, taking a look at it retrospectively, is in the 0.4 to 0.5. So as well. And then, of course, if we take a look at, let's take a look at Ethereum as far as risk bands. It's actually higher than both of those. Go figure. Ethereum is in a 0.5 to 0.6. How about XRP? XRP, for as much as it's gone up, is only 0.5 to 0.6. Which would be the lowest, do you think? How about BNB? 0.4. They're all in the same range, 0.4 to 0.6. I think one of the ones that is really in the dumps, I'd have to guess Cardano. Yeah, 0.3 to 0.4. Look at how much that's gone down. And then, of course, one of the worst ones are SWI and Polygon. Take that as you will. But I have to tell you, it's a funny thing that's going on in the markets right now. We're seeing a pretty big drawback. Bitcoin right out 92,000. I think it was at 91. It'll probably go below 90 at some point, maybe even 80. Who knows? Like we talked about this. First, we talked about this November 1st, how I said that this time, I mean, you can see it's different. And then just about a week ago, I said, look, when we went from 110 to 106, I go, no, it was even more than that. It was like 110 to like 103. And I said, look, we're probably going to go lower. It's probably going to suck. It's probably going to be bad. So if you have to take profits, whatever those are, then you should be taking profits. And I'll say it again, and I'll say it forever. Take profits when you need them. However, right now, as things are going down, you have to make a decision. We've been talking about this for like the last 2-3 weeks. Do you want to stick around and go through the anguish of this, or do you want to get out? I'm not your dad, and you are smart enough to figure it. So, it's up to you. Me personally, what am I doing? I'm just like, well, I took my profits early in the year. I didn't take near as much as I should have. I messed that up. But at this point, I'm just like, okay, go down below 80. I don't care. I will just keep buying, going down. I'm gonna stay out of alts, although Solana is looking attractive. But mostly Bitcoin, and go from there. And yeah, it's a weird thing because right now the S&P 500, look at that, over a year. I mean, it was at its all-time high October, just about 3 weeks ago. And now it's just a little bit down. I mean, it's up 13% for the year. Over 5 days, it's down 2%. But I mean, still, looking it over like a 5-year time frame, that's looking good. So we know there is money to be had. People do want to put money into some type of risk on, maybe a little risk off if you're into gold and stuff like that, or Bitcoin. The question is, why isn't it coming into our market? This shouldn't be, I don't see why this should be happening. But it is. That's the market that we have. And then also, because of this, I want to say au revoir to dApp Radar, as they are shutting down after 7 years. They even had their own token and everything. dApp Radar was a place to check out Web3 dApps, or decentralized applications, and see how they were doing. And they just said, look, we've been doing this for 7 years and it's not profitable for us, so we're winding down. And that could be just the start of other companies. But I've said this before, and I'll say it again. All these different crypto companies and projects, they have to consolidate, or they just have to die. I hate to say it like that, but it's the same thing as like the internet days. You can only have so many different sites that actually are profitable. The bigger, more powerful, well-run projects will start to gobble up the smaller ones. They'll start to take those developers, they'll start to take those marketers, they'll start to take those CIOs and everybody else and put them all to where they can be successful. dApp Radar is going to go away. A lot of your different companies are going to go away. A lot of these altcoins are going to go away, and they're going to make it into something greater. And that's why there's always just a few handful of winners, and that's usually how it goes. But I could be wrong. That's it for today. So look, if you like today's video, thumbs up, subscribe, and all that great stuff. Now, if you want to stick around, we'll do a little Q&A, and I'll answer all your questions, and we'll go from there. Plato, thanks for the super sticker. It's nice. I got 99 cents. I'm feeling pretty good. Well, that's euros, so I don't know what the conversion is. Dork. Yeah, the guy that I was talking to today, I'm like, this guy's such a nerd. Little I know, that guy's probably a multi scammer millionaire piece of trash. What are you gonna do? Anyhow, yeah. Metalor says, hey, Bitcoin futures gap closed. I think there's a group I'm a part of, and they said that, hey, I think the gap's at 92K. And, usually we start to fill those gaps up, and you see that we hit 92, dropped down a little bit to 91. Now we're back up to 92. Maybe we get 93, but I still see us going lower. I still see us breaking through 90K. It is what it is. Mickey says, taking profits, but only to pay my taxes and credit cards. I'm here for the long game. Sounds good to me. look, I mean, whatever you guys want to do is great, you know, because everybody has their own thing. Like some people are like, hey man, I just don't want to have any stress. You know, I got bills up the wazoo. I got my lady complaining about this and that and me diamond handsing too long. And I just want to, you know, give our family something. Great, do that. Or you got some people like, you know what, I don't care about this stuff. I'm just going to hold on because I paid all my bills and I don't have any other issues that I have to have. So I'm just going to stick around. Great. It's just whatever you want to do. And like for some reason in X, some people think that their situation is mimicked across the board and everybody should just diamond hands and hold on forever. I don't think that's true for everybody. Let's see. I need a dad. Don't we all? Nah, I'm good. You'll be good, Rectum. What a name. I'm good. No. Okay. Let's see. Van Life says, Ben says we might go to 60K after Q4. Yeah, sure. I think it's pretty low. And like I like what Nuker says here. I think 69K with a bottom, but I do have a limit order of 50K. Like again, like if we take a look at it, Jimmy showed me this one. Let's see, nomination. Let me find this. I know I have it here somewhere. It all comes down to cycles, right? And these cycles are, unfortunately, presidential elections. No. I'll just show you this. Hold on. This is what I'm trying to show you. Sorry. Let me get this out of here. Nuker could be right. But just midterms, we talked about this, about how I say that, you know, we here in the United States, we have a presidential election every 4 years. We just had one in 2024. In between those elections, we have this thing called a midterm, and that's where we get Congress, House of Representatives, and Senate to be up for new seats. And during that time, usually the markets don't like ambiguity. They don't like the unknowns. And because of that, they're like, hey, that's when we see like the dips. And we see that, you know, Obama 2012, 2013 all-time high, dip, reset. Trump 2016 all-time high, dip in midterms, and so on and so forth. So I think in 2026 we'll have another dip. But remember, the midterms aren't until November. But I still agree with Nuker about 69K. It's because, shout out to Jimmy, usually, or so far, we haven't gone below the presidential election day price, which the last one was November 5th, 2024, 69,432. And I can see that because I know people are saying, well, didn't we have like a massive drop? Yes. In 2013 and 2015 was an 85% drop. In 2017 and 2018 it was an 84% drop. So hey, we got that 1% going for us. And then cycle 3 was 77%. But what do you notice? There was less volatility. Cycle 1, I mean, you went from essentially nothing, like $10 to $1,000. That's big money, I think. And then on this one, you went from the beginning of 2017, 2016, around $800, $1,000 to $20,000. Again, massive volatility. And then this one, what did you have? You had, you know, 20,000 to 60. I mean, really, you had like, yeah, roughly 20,000, 17,000, something like that. That's not that much of volatility. And then, of course, going to now, I mean, it hasn't been near as much as the last other cycles. So I don't think we'll have, like I said, the blow off top. I don't think we'll have the massive drawdowns. But, you know, we're all just guessing out here. We're all just making educated guesses. Let's see. Yeah. And Beardy knows about rugs. I mean, same thing, but his was a very advanced rug pull. I don't know if you guys heard this story. We were in Nashville, Bitcoin conference. Beardy was a little bit tired from jet lag or whatever else he was going through. We were maybe drinking too much. I don't know. And, you know, somebody in his Telegram group, I think it was, they said, hey, we're getting a Bitcoin mining operation and we're going to give you these discounts. He's like, great. Called somebody on the phone, the exact same tone, incantation that he knew from that person. And it was an AI generated speech. Crazy, right? And because of that, he, you know, whatever, Beardy, I forgot how much you actually got scammed out for. I know it wasn't cheap. And these things happen. And it's just comes down to, you know, did you have enough information to get out of it? Or, you know, were you just in one of those vulnerable positions where, like you said, you're tired, you're jet lagged, you're a little bit confused, it sounded good, you've never heard of this type of scam, and you just get screwed over. I gotta tell you, the best investors of this whole cycle has been the scammers. They are making their return on investment is far greater than any of ours because they put nothing into it except for their time and effort, and they get paid millions and millions of dollars. Unbelievable. And then you got people like the folks over at X who could protect people, but instead they're like, no, we can't prove it. Yes, you can. You can do, there's a ton of stuff that X can do, and they can't do those things, and they're allowing people to get screwed over. Before I go on a tangent, you know what I'm saying? Let's see. SoFi Bank sounds pretty good to keep away from the scams. DS has a point, another great point, right? If you're a scammer, and I hope they do this the right way, but people are still going to complain. The right way is this: how will SoFi custody the Bitcoin that you buy? How are they going to custody the Ethereum or the Solana that you buy? Is it going to be paper, just something on a spreadsheet that at some point they can get to? Or are they going to hold it like we'd say, like with an ETF? Like iBit, for every Bitcoin that is bought by their customers, they have to have custodial services, usually through Coinbase Prime or somebody else. I think it's like Fireblocks or something, I forget. And they have to actually hold that physical gold somewhere. Now, is SoFi going to have their own format, their own storage, or are they going to have some kind of provider for that, for institutional storage, or in this case, retail storage? And if they do that, how are you going to be able to take your crypto off of SoFi? Are you going to have to liquidate it first into cash, or are you going to be able to take that out from your crypto wallet, from say your SoFi crypto wallet to your ledger? Now, here's the thing. Every single one of you, when I said that, said, you're damn right I want to do that. I want to be able to take that out and put it in my ledger and do whatever I want with it. Here's the catch. The catch is that somebody could get access to your account. I don't know what kind of security that they actually have in the banks. And what if you don't set it up right? What if it's just like a username and a password or something stupid like that? You know how easy it would be to take your Bitcoin, let's just say it's like your entire life savings, transfer it into their ledger. This has happened before. This has happened years before, and it always happens. Or are they going to force you to say, look, if you want to take your crypto out, we're either going to have these XYZ steps. It's going to be a little bit more difficult and a pain in the A, we understand, but we're trying to protect you against fraud. And there's always going to be somebody who's like, don't you tell me that, Junior, because it's what I want. I'm the customer, I should be able to do it. But then they get screwed over on their crypto, and then the first ones to start crying to everybody. Am I off? I don't know. Let's see how they do it. Let's see. Max Nut says, we all know it's all junk apart from Bitcoin. It's all a hot potato, and you were left holding. Max Nut, there's going to be more and more of these comments, especially as we get down the line and things start really getting scary if it does go below 90K. And I don't blame Max Nut for saying those things. Because, you know, you're promised a bill of goods by a lot of people. A lot of people don't tell you the bad news. A lot of people don't tell you that, hey, we could actually slide down. A lot of people don't even tell you to take profits. They tell you to diamond hands forever. Oh, well. DS says, too many steps with the scammers. They'll go for easy prey. Let's hope so. I know I don't know. Yep. I know I don't know. There's things you know. There's things you don't know. And there's things you don't know that you don't know. And those are the biggest problems. See, Cransel, not your keys. Of course he'll say that. I agree with Max. Yeah, Quincharian, you're right. X is fantastic for like the most up-to-date news and the quickest information you can possibly get. But the trade-off is you have to go through all the sludge and the slime and the negativity. Everybody talks S during the bear market. So it is normal. It's okay. This is why you have freedom of speech. It's fantastic. Ryan says, I was nervous to store my crypto until Elon Musk reached out on his Chinese account and offered to custody it for me. Now I sleep easy. Yeah, my favorite is when I say, send me a Bitcoin, I'll send you 2 back. Those are my favorites. Opt out of X. Mary got it right. And it's a good point. Fat men drive trucks. Yeah. If we get no alt season, most people only buy Bitcoin. I think what it's going to be is that as great as Bitcoin is, and that's the majority of my portfolio, there are still some things that the altcoins can do. And I know people will say, well, you can do smart contracts on Bitcoin if you do the second layer. I get you. But I think there's still going to be some winners. And if you just take a look at, like I've said before, the stable coins and who's actually using those rails, just look at the best. And if you really think about it, it could be the B best, the double best, which would be Binance, Ethereum, Solana, and Tron. Why is that? Because that's where all the payments are. Anyhow, that's it for today. The cops are coming for me. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, everybody. Like and subscribe. And don't forget to do that thing with Gem. Get that scammer out of here. Adios.